You're listening to the N2K Space Network.
Most security conferences talk about Zero Trust. Zero Trust World puts you inside. This is a hands-on cybersecurity event designed for practitioners who want real skills, not just theory. You'll take part in live hacking labs where you'll attack real environments, see how modern threats actually work, and learn how to stop them before they turn into incidents. But Zero Trust World is more than labs. You'll also experience expert-led sessions, practical case studies, and technical deep dives focused on real-world implementation. Whether you're blue team, red team, or responsible for securing an entire organization, the content is built to be immediately useful. You'll earn CPE credits, connect with peers across the industry, and leave with strategies you can put into action right away. Join us March 4th through the 6th in Orlando, Florida. Register now at ztw.com and take your Zero Trust strategy from theory to execution.
SIGINT, or signals intelligence, is the practice of intercepting and analyzing electronic signals like phone calls, emails, radar, or telemetry to gather actionable intelligence for national security, defense, and military operations. It's primarily conducted by agencies in the United States like the NSA, but over the last decade, we have seen many companies in the commercial sector break through in this vital area of national defense, especially in space. Now, who is investing in these companies? Well, we ask the experts. Welcome to T-Minus Space, Special Edition. I'm Maria Varmazes. NightDragon is an investment advisory firm that focuses entirely on the security technology market. They recently led a Series E funding round for Hawkeye 360, which is the first commercial company to detect, geolocate, and characterize a broad range of RF signals from a growing constellation in low Earth orbit. My guest today is Dave DeWalt, CEO of NightDragon, on investing in technology and space.
Greetings, everybody. Dave DeWalt here. I'm the founder and CEO of NightDragon and former multi-time CEO in the security tech world. And thank you for having me, Maria.
It's my pleasure, Dave. Thank you so much for speaking with me today. What brings us together is a conversation that I actually had with John Serafini in December about Hawkeye 360 hitting their Series E with NightDragon support. And it just felt like a great time for me to bring you in and sort of get the NightDragon point of view on this great news. So if you wouldn't mind telling me a bit about that Series E and NightDragon support of Hawkeye 360.
Yeah, Maria, I wish I could have done it with John. That would have been fun to hammer it.
Right.
Yeah, we've been honored to partner with John Serafini. He is a rare leader in all of technology, quite frankly, and especially in space and security, national security. We've been working with the asset for, coming up on close to 5 years, and have watched the company grow and expand under John's leadership. And we really had a lot of kind of feelings about different segments in space we can get into later. But Hawkeye 360 is a very unique asset, as you know. We are very proud to lead or co-lead the most recent round, which we participated in nearly every round that they've had. But you can really see the company, crossing the chasm. And that is a testament to the hard work of the team, but also the partners and investors and the whole community supporting Hawkeye. And it's been a lot of fun to see him doing preparation for public opportunities and acquisitions, which was part of this round. We acquired a company called ISA, as you know, and he talked about. But the company's got a real opportunity to drive value for its shareholders, but also and maybe just as important, create a mission of securing our world. And that is really something Hawkeye excels at, is the mission of being able to help to detect bad things happening on the planet, tipping and queuing that to various responses and saving people's lives and helping to create a better world that we live in. So it's been an honor.
Yeah, yeah, and I definitely want to put a pin in NightDragon's interest in the space industry. I want to put a pin in that and go back to that. But before I get to that, I wanted to stay on Hawkeye 360 for just a moment, because I am super interested with the ISA acquisition about the emphasis on improving signal processing versus merely just adding satellite capacity. And I'm curious if you could tell me more about the strategy there.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, certainly, first of all, for the listeners here, Hawkeye 360 specializes in low Earth orbit SDRs, so software-defined radios that essentially are doing radio frequency management on Earth signals coming from the ground. We now have 12 clusters, 13 clusters up and running across the world. We've got some powerful revisit rates, really covering most of the planet at this point. We'll continue to expand that. But really, signal processing is at the heart of it, and AI and software is the core of that. And this company has really created an unbelievable database of patterns of life recognition around ground-based RF emissions. So knowing the difference between a ship in the ocean that is dark and perhaps have its AIS transponders turned off, and you might be hearing or listening to a push-to-talk radio on the ship, to perhaps an aircraft that's flying, commercial versus military, or a GPS jammer, or just about any signal coming off the ground. These patterns of life recognition really helps create a very powerful way of creating response to whatever anomalous behavior might be occurring with those patterns of life. So to use your phrase, signal intelligence, that signal intelligence, the faster you can identify it with the greater accuracy and efficacy, creates a very powerful platform. And proud to say Hawkeye 360 has very, very high efficacy, very, very low false positives, very strong patterns of life recognition, creating it a real important apparatus to all the SIGINT platforms around the world. Now many nation states are using this platform, and it's become, I believe, a vital piece of infrastructure for, not just the world to use, but to create peace, like I mentioned as well, with a platform like theirs.
Going back to sort of, NightDragon's interest in segments of the space industry, I can see how, given how you're describing what Hawkeye 360 is doing and that efficacy you were talking about with SIGINT, how it also fits into the larger picture of what NightDragon is interested in and the kind of companies that you all invest in. And I'm curious if you could tell me a bit more about NightDragon's interest specifically in space.
Yeah, Maria. So again, for the listeners, for 30 seconds, NightDragon's an investment advisory firm. We focus entirely on the security tech market. So security tech, much like biotech or fintech, is essentially focused on all 5 domains of security, particularly risks and threats happening across all 5 domains. So we're talking about space, obviously, but certainly other areas like air and maritime are important to us. Ground and land-based systems, and then also the invisible domain, I like to call it, which is cyber, AI, quantum areas. And as we're knowing, Maria, like these are all morphing together a bit, and space meets cyber, cyber meets supply chain meets space, maritime meets space, and you tip and queue these SIGINT platforms to work together across all domains. So to answer your question, NightDragon focuses in on deploying capital into security tech companies. We've really focused largely on the biggest threats and risks in all those 5 domains. And particularly in space, we see national security areas as extremely important. We believe that space is a frontier now that's becoming incredibly important, not just incredibly important, already is. It is the future of our geographies, our economies, our infrastructure. The race to the moon is incredibly important, as you know, and have already spoken about. But whoever controls space and can secure space really is going to have an incredible economic advantage, as well as a national security advantage. So we see this domain as extremely important to the future of mankind, and certainly from an American point of view, an American future as well.
We'll be right back.
Ever wished you could rebuild your network from scratch to make it more secure, scalable, and simple? Meet Meter, the company reimagining enterprise networking from the ground up. Meter builds full-stack, zero-trust networks, including hardware, firmware, and software, all designed to work seamlessly together. The result? Fast, reliable, and secure connectivity without the constant patching, vendor juggling, or hidden costs. From wired and wireless to routing, switching, firewalls, DNS security, and VPN, every layer is integrated and continuously protected in one unified platform. And since it's delivered as one predictable monthly service, you skip the heavy capital costs and endless upgrade cycles. Meter even buys back your old infrastructure to make switching effortless. Transform complexity into simplicity and give your team time to focus on what really matters, helping your business and customers thrive. Learn more and book your demo at meter.com/cyberwire. That's meter.com/cyberwire. When it comes to mobile application security, good enough is a risk. A recent survey shows that 72% of organizations reported at least one mobile application security incident last year, and 92% of responders reported threat levels have increased in the past 2 years. GuardSquare delivers the highest level of security for your mobile apps without compromising performance, time to market, or user experience. Discover how GuardSquare provides industry-leading security for your Android and iOS apps at www.guardsquare.com.
I'm wondering about NightDragon's ongoing support of Hawkeye 360, maybe how that investment interacts with other portfolio companies of yours.
Yeah, quite a few. In fact, Maria, we also had an investment we did similar timing called Capella Space, which you know. Capella focused in on synthetic aperture radar, or SAR technology, another microwaving kind of set of capabilities that allowed you to see through clouds and at night, particularly important with the Russian-Ukrainian conflicts, which had heavy cloud cover and oftentimes missions during nighttime. So synthetic aperture radar is important. Hawkeye partnering and tipping and queuing between RF signals and that of taking images of the ground through clouds and at nighttime was extremely important. They continue to work together. Now, Capella, we sold. We had a great exit to a quantum company, which is a whole conversation into itself, but a company called IonQ, which was a public company, acquired Capella Space. But it was really important because we see a lot of threats and risks to communications. And as you know, probably the most killer application in space right now is communications, next generation communication. Most of our fiber optic cables on the ocean floor are slowly but surely moving to space. We're seeing next generation communication platforms coming and really being needed to serve this entire planet. And at the heart of communications is secure communications. So, Capella's capabilities with SAR and comms coupled with quantum-based encryption and resiliency became important. So that's just to name two of them. We also have quite a few other companies involved in this with maritime and air domains as well. A company called Saronic, which makes maritime drones and swarm drones. These have the ability to do RF signaling from the maritime domain, but also tipping and queuing to space domains as well. So if you see something in space, you can tip and queue to maritime. Maritime can also create a response platform there as well. But we see that integrated to just every domain at this point. So Hawkeye becomes an epicenter of a lot of SIGINT processing, but also these other domain and portfolio companies we have as well, signaling back and forth, working together as one. And that's really our NightDragon vision. What can we do to bring all our portfolio companies together, have them work together, really augmenting SIGINT platforms around the world and response in a way that enables the latest technology, cutting edge technology to really survive and thrive. And that's what we're all about here at NightDragon.
That's awesome. And I'm also wondering, I don't often get to talk to people who have such a great vision into cybersecurity as well. So I have to ask a space cyber question. I'm curious, as you were mentioning about the importance of space connectivity and securing space communications, what interests you in the realm of space cyber, if we want to call it that right now?
A vast array of threats and risks, Maria. As you know, I was CEO of FireEye and Mandiant. Before that, McAfee. I have 20 years of knowing breaches and issues related to this domain. And when you think about cyber, we first watch, kind of hacktivism give way to crime give way to, some sort of espionage give way to terrorism, give way to warfare in the form of disruption and destruction of assets. And now we have a whole range of dangers happening in that cyber domain. Apply that to space, and it's a pretty scary world. So you start with, are these platforms secured by design? Have we built the satellites, the communications, the infrastructure so it can't be hacked? How do we help solve that problem? I call it silicon the satellite. How do we think about securing silicon the satellite? And if we don't think about silicon the satellite for security, bad things can happen. So, the first thing is design of security natively in to make sure what we put up in space has resiliency to threats and attacks. And we've watched this during these, various conflicts around the world. But aside from that, you start to then go to weaponization from space. We're now seeing a lot of capabilities from space as well to do hacking from space as well. So not only can they be hacked, they can hack. So the power of these platforms are really interesting, Maria, as next generation invisible domains kind of meet these new domains. And I have to say, I just love being in the middle of it. It's a mission to be a part of it. I'm just thankful for NightDragon and the team to give us a capability to hopefully make a difference in the world.
Well, that's fantastic. Well, thank you for sharing your expertise and your vision with me, Dave. And I'm just thrilled that I finally got a chance to speak with you. I want to make sure I give you the last word. If there's anything you want to leave our audience with that we didn't talk about, but you wanted to mention, I want to give you that chance.
Yeah, I would just say, 2026 is going to be an interesting year from a lot of point of view, exciting. I always use the adage, may we live in interesting times, which is a curse potentially and a blessing. And so being vigilant at these times is really important. And my main message to you as part of saying that is it takes a village, right? We need public-private partnerships. We need partners like yourself and the media to help create education of the issues and the risks and the threats. But everybody's got to work together if we're going to secure this domain and create economic advantages for everybody on the planet. So I think 2026 is kind of a crossing the chasm year. And it's a big year for space. It's a big year for threats and political, military, otherwise economic. So again, I'm just proud to be a part of it and look forward to being part of the village.
Thank you so much, Dave. Thank you for your time. I greatly appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you, Maria. Thanks for having me.
That's T-Minus Special Edition, brought to you by N2K Cyberwire. We'd love to know what you think of this podcast. Your feedback ensures we deliver the insights that keep you a step ahead in the rapidly changing space industry. If you like this show, please share a rating and review in your podcast app. Or you can send an email to space@n2k.com. We are proud that N2K Cyberwire is part of the daily routine of the most influential leaders and operators in the public and private sector, from the Fortune 500 to many of the world's preeminent intelligence and law enforcement agencies. N2K helps space and cybersecurity professionals grow, learn, and stay informed. As the nexus for discovery and connection, we bring you the people, the technology, and the ideas shaping the future of secure innovation. Learn how at n2k.com. N2K's senior producer is Alice Carruth. Our producer is Liz Stokes. We are mixed by Elliot Peltzman and Trey Hester, with original music by Elliot Peltzman. Our executive producer is Jennifer Iben. Peter Kilby is our publisher, and I am T-minus host, Maria Varmazes. Thank you for listening. We'll see you next time.
If you only attend one cybersecurity conference this year, make it RSAC 2026. It's happening March 23rd through the 26th in San Francisco, bringing together the global security community for 4 days of expert insights, hands-on learning, and real innovation. I'll say this plainly, I never miss this conference. The ideas and conversations stay with me all year. Join thousands of practitioners and leaders tackling today's toughest challenges and shaping what comes next. Register today at rsaconference.com/cyberwire26. I'll see you in San Francisco.